The truth hurts all you believers because all you believers don't know that you was taught to be liars. Literally. Look in the middle of the word believe, please. Grown men and women and men. Born a woman, 100%. Naturally, to know better is your natural order to live in and live by. Wow. How did you allow someone to teach you to not know you and the truth that's in you, the creator within the creation? You're never wrong. Wow. As children, we always taught them. Wrong. Literally, we was taught to make believe, to be the liar. We was taught to understand in order to do better, you need to know better. You believe the need to know better. Naturally within an order. The truth makes sense for true change. Makes sense for true change. It's the make believe nonsense that makes everything stay the same. Once you realize who's running game on who. Born with a penis, you are a little boy born into being a man. Born with a vagina, you are a little girl born into being a woman. Literally, the truth makes sense. It's literally the make believe nonsense that don't make sense. And that's what we just going along to get along with some nonsense. Make believe, understand, faith, hope. Literally just 5 words made up to keep so many stuck on stupid, willing participants in their own slavery because they're not thinking for themselves. Willing participants I'm like a broken record, but I ain't broke. I feel like a broken record, constantly saying the same shit over and over again. We're not as stupid as we've been taught to be. Brown men and women, women and men. I'm talking to all men and women, women and men. We're not this stupid. Naturally, you're supposed to know better than this shit.
significantly for you guys. So essentially here we have the Kamala Harris Trump polling outlook from right before Joe Biden resigned to present day. As you see, Trump was maintaining his lead above Kamala Harris as expected, especially considering a couple months prior the results looked something like this. So anyways, if you take a look at the bottom here, Trump is leading quite comfortably, and then slowly the media blitz occurs, and all of a sudden Kamala Harris flips the race. But now the last two polls, that's a rapidly poll, but notice Trump is back on top of it. So I guess the next question, that little blue blip on the radar, let's call it, is simply a momentary little flash. Kamala Harris will be able to continue to dominate every single poll. You know, it's really no surprise to see her making gains in morning consult, NPR polls, Marquette polls, Ipsos, Civic. That's more volatility in these polls. You tend to see fluctuation or these huge, massive margins in a lot of these polls. It makes for a good headline, but if you really isolate for the best pollsters here, it's still essentially within the margin of error or still in Trump's favor. INI/TIPP is a fantastic pollster. In the Kamala honeymoon period, they only have her up +1. CBS News only has her up +1. Rasmussen is pretty much unchanged. CNBC relatively unchanged as well. Now we have the polls are essentially showing the same thing. You know, we might be seeing a little bit of excitement in all of these left-wing push polls. We might have to come back to reality here, and so I really wouldn't be surprised if the numbers start to tighten, or really if Kamala Harris starts to drop like rocks here. You know, like I always mention, we've seen these Kamala spikes before, where she spikes in the poll. It's never been sustainable in the past. Well, it might not be sustainable this time. And look, I know I sound like a little bit of a broken record these days, saying this over and over again, but I think everybody's asking the same question. John, do you think how long Kamala Harris actually last? Since CNN seems to have their doubts.
Yeah, I down, for example, in her video, she said that Hillary wants to by the end of the week. I was contact to say, I don't know, I think we're going to but you have that, you have her pulled out, using a policy, although she said her economic policy platform will be coming out, and the rate isn't necessarily going to be going for her ahead. I think rate is the issue. So with
rate isn't going to be failing forever. This little honeymoon blitz here, well, it might just be for some. It might be the best decision possible. Now Democrats run into a very similar situation that they found themselves in over the last 4 years, and that's the issue of their flipping candidate now has. That was obviously an issue with Joe Biden, and it's clearly also an issue with Kamala Harris.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
You've got to maintain these honeymoon polling numbers. That requires substance that I believe Kamala Harris is. I mean, don't say
that Kamala has done it all with the state budget.
Crickets. 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 Crickets.
How much more time do you need? There is great significance as time.
Nobody's got anything. People are just saying, Kamala in 2024, I'm with her. We had Kamala so grand, but almost none of them can actually explain the why. Kind of an important thing in the midst of a heated election, don't you think? Eventually, the chickens are going to come home to roost. Eventually, makeup's going to come on. I'll just keep saying it. I don't think this thing is sustainable, and I think we're already starting to see it in the polls. Possibly a fake, narrative-driven, little push-pull propaganda blitz that might have already lost some steam. Maybe. Hopefully. A little bit of hopium, a little bit of copium, not gonna lie. But at least I got some data to back up my theory. Anyways.
Like I said again, question everything that don't make sense. But the truth makes sense. The truth is what it is. Common sense. It's time for a change. Let's go back to using common sense, and shit will change. We just stuck on a 5-word program of nonsense. Make believe, understand, faith, and hope. That's the fucked up words that got us all fucked up. Just going along together. The elite asshole. I'm Mr. Glasses.